So another weekend goes by, another result that kicks the can down the road, and another game where we haven't scored a goal at home. Welcome to Forest 0, Fulham 0. Hi guys, hope you're doing well, and welcome to some further match reaction on Forest 0, Fulham 0. And there's not really much to say about that game, is there? But we got a few things that need to be discussed. So make sure you've liked, make sure you subscribed, hyped, all that good stuff. And let's just jump into it. I don't know what that game means. I really don't. I said we needed 4 points out of Fulham and Spurs. And ideally, if you were going to get ideally 6, right? But if you're going to get 4 points, you beat Spurs and you draw with Fulham because that increases the gap on Spurs. But Fulham weren't really that interested in that game, in my opinion. And I just felt Forest players were kind of the same. I don't think the intensity was high. I don't think the desire to go out at all costs and win it was there. I just don't know how up these players are for this fight, and that in itself is quite worrying. And we can go into the worrying stat, which is one goal in 99 shots, or whatever the stat has been updated to. I think we've seen 14 goals in the Premier League in the City Ground this season. That's actually pathetic. And we've seen goals disallowed, like we did yesterday with Ndoye, who looked all right actually when he was playing, but the heel of his boot was offside, and that's the difference between 1 point and 3 point. Aina cracked the crossbar, and Taiwo missed a decent chance as well. And it's the same story over and over again. And I'm getting sick of this season. I really am. And I'm getting sick of putting out these same videos. It just feels like I could just put out the one from last week or the one against Wolves or whoever. And it's just the same story. And I'm still sick as well. But we are where we are. Look, has anything changed over the weekend? We entered the weekend out of the relegation zone on goal difference. We exit the weekend out of the relegation zone on goal difference. Yes, we had the little, drive-by into 18th place, but that's because West Ham were playing before us. And somehow or other, Spurs were able to get a last-minute goal against Liverpool. Thank you, Liverpool. It's not bad enough that you cheated against us. You then go and let Spurs pick up their first point. But I look at that Spurs game and I think to myself, that point actually may be a blessing in disguise. There was loads of rumours and talks that Igor Tudor was going to be sacked after he lost the game to Liverpool. And there was talks of who do they get in? Sean Dyche, Harry Redknapp, Tim Sherwood. All these names are floating around. And in a way, it helps us, because I expect Igor Tudor to still be in their dugout come next weekend. But I will tell you this is now, we've talked about must-win games and all this stuff before. This is now essential to win game. There's no more trapdoors that I can see after this Spurs game. I think maybe Burnley at home, but I don't like our finish. We've got Newcastle, Man United, Chelsea and Bournemouth, not in that order, but those are the 4 games. By the time we played the Spurs game, I think we then got Villa and Burnley and Sunderland. I don't know how many points we get out of those games outside of the Burnley one, and I'm not even that confident on the Burnley one. If you're not scoring goals, you're not picking up 3 points. It's as simple as that. And it may actually help us that we are away from home for this game, and it helps us that Spurs are completely crap at their own ground. They can't defend and we can't attack. I mean, it just stinks of a draw, doesn't it, already? But look, we'll have a big build-up into this game. Obviously, this game is personal to me with my brother supporting Spurs. He's broken, I'm broken. We don't like this season. I think that's the one thing we can agree with Spurs fans on, is this season, just end it and let's move on. And then you had Leeds as well. I think not enough is being spoken about on Leeds. I still think Leeds are messing themselves up into this relegation battle accidentally. They missed a penalty yesterday against Crystal Palace. They had a chance to potentially take 3 points and move further away. But they're on 32 points now, and I still don't think that's safe enough. I think it's going to be at least 35 points to get people over the line. But who are the winners and losers of this weekend? You could make an argument, I think, for everyone except for Forest. This was a home game that we should have won. West Ham can quite comfortably turn around and say, well, we had Man City in a title race, in a title fight, and we didn't lose to them. Spurs can turn around and say, we were meant to lose 7 in a row and we went away to Anfield, where we haven't won since 2011 or 2012, whatever it is, and we took a point. Forest can't use those excuses. Fulham lost at home to West Ham last week. Forest played Fulham at home this week. If you look at the net positives or the plus and minuses with us versus West Ham in the last 2 games, we've both played the same opposition. They took 3 points from Fulham and 1 point from Man City, obviously giving them a total of 4. We played the same 2 opposition and we took 1 point. And this is, in the end, where it lies. Now, will West Ham's form continue towards the end of the season? I don't know. But what I do know is we need to start scoring goals and we need to start scoring them quickly. I've loved Igor Jesus since he's been here. But even I'm not stupid enough to see that 2 goals in the Premier League is not acceptable for your number 9. He's still tied in terms of goals with Chris Wood this season. And he needs to buck up or be dropped. A lot of people saying Taiwo came on, put a shift in and everything yesterday. Yeah, I agree. But he still didn't score his chance, did he? And this is our problem. The goal scoring problem continues. Excuse me. And without Chris Wood, we're in trouble. And he's not due back. Where are we now? 16th of March. He's due back sometime within the next 4 weeks. And my worry is that Forest will panic and try and rush him back and he ends up getting injured again. And if that happens, we have no hope in hell of scoring goals. But let's see how it pans out. I don't think it was the worst performance I've seen. We did create chances, but we just can't convert them. And let's get on to the real question here. Are we staying up? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm like an ostrich at the moment, burying my head in the sand with the discussion and think something will happen. Someone will score a goal. We'll suddenly go on a run of 2 or 3 games, get a couple of wins or something. But right now, I honestly don't know. Ask me again after Spurs. And if we haven't won that game, we're in big trouble. But it all points to that game. It really does. What do you guys think? Are we staying up or going down? Let me know in the comments. There may be a Grumpy Old Reds tonight. I don't know. I've got quite a few things going on off stream, so I've got to sort those out. If not, we'll put something together at some point for you guys. But brace yourselves. This game against Spurs is the biggest one of the season so far. Thank you for watching. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. I'm going to get some lemsip. Come on, you Reds.